Imagine waking up, alone, millions of miles from home. No memory of how you got there, no idea if you'll ever see Earth again. That's the nightmare, or the mission, facing Dr. Ryland Grace in Project Hail Mary. This 2026 sci-fi masterpiece, directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, takes us on a journey that's thrilling, hilarious, and heartbreakingly human. Based on Andy Weir's novel, the same author behind The Martian, it's a story about survival, friendship, and the very survival of humanity itself. But here's the catch. Grace isn't just floating in space by accident. He's on a desperate, one-way mission to save the Earth from an invisible threat that's slowly extinguishing our sun, and the world has no backup plan. When we first meet Grace, he's alone, waking from a medically induced coma aboard a spacecraft somewhere near the Tau Ceti star system. His crewmates? Dead. The mission? Shrouded in mystery. And Grace has amnesia. As he struggles to breathe, orient himself, and figure out what's happening, flashes of memory begin to surface. We start to understand Grace was an ordinary middle school science teacher, plucked from his life and thrust into a mission that no one else could complete. Why him? Why now? And more importantly, how can one man, isolated in the cold depths of space, possibly save a planet from a dying sun? But what happens next changes everything. Grace discovers he's not just alone in the universe. There's a puzzle, a threat, and a mission that's bigger than he could ever imagine. And little does he know, an encounter is coming that will challenge everything he thought about life, intelligence, and friendship. As Grace struggles with memory and survival, flashbacks reveal how he was recruited. The sun is dimming. Scientists discover a strange microscopic organism called astrophage that feeds on the sun's energy. Entire civilizations could face extinction in decades. Grace, despite being brilliant, is reluctant. He's a teacher, not an astronaut. But Eva Stratt, the formidable leader of Project Hail Mary, convinces him that the fate of humanity rests on his shoulders. The mission is clear: travel to a distant star, Tau Ceti, the only place where astrophage seems controlled, and discover why. It's a one-way trip. No return. Failure means the end of life as we know it. But no one expected what happens next. Grace detects another spacecraft. Inside, a life form unlike anything humans have ever seen, a sentient, rock-like, spider-shaped alien. Grace dubs him Rocky. At first, they cannot communicate. Language, biology, culture, everything is a barrier. Yet necessity drives them to work together. Rocky's planet is dying from the same sun problem, and now two species separated by light years must solve a cosmic puzzle or face annihilation. The two begin a delicate dance of trust, first mirroring each other's movements, then experimenting with sounds and gestures. Moments of humor emerge, but every step carries the weight of interstellar stakes. Rocky is no sidekick. He's a partner, a teacher, and the key to survival. As their bond grows, Grace's ingenuity shines. He adapts human science to alien technology, and Rocky adapts alien knowledge to Grace's world. Together, they confront obstacles that no one alone could overcome. Grace and Rocky's collaboration is more than scientific. It's emotional. The audience feels every breakthrough, every setback, and just when it seems like they've gained the upper hand, disaster strikes. No one expected this. One miscalculation could destroy both planets. The tension escalates as Grace must use every ounce of creativity, courage, and humor to solve the problem. We see him improvising in zero gravity, assembling complex devices from scraps, much like Mark Watney in The Martian, but with stakes amplified across two worlds. Meanwhile, flashbacks reveal the emotional and political pressure on Earth. Eva Stratt navigates bureaucracy, doubt, and the terrifying realization that failure is global. The team on Earth relies on Grace's intuition and Rocky's alien insight, but communication across light years is imperfect. Then comes the unexpected twist that reshapes the mission. Rocky's species possesses a material and biological insight that Grace cannot replicate alone. Their friendship, trust, and ingenuity unlock a solution no one could foresee. The two must combine their science, biology, and bravery to create a plan that saves not just Earth, but Rocky's world too. The middle section of the film, often heartwarming, sometimes hilarious, gives way to a series of edge-of-your-seat sequences, spacewalks, dangerous experiments on alien planets, life-threatening improvisation, and moments of breathtaking visual splendor. Cinematographer Greig Fraser captures these sequences in stunning detail, making the cosmos feel vast, dangerous, and achingly beautiful. As Project Hail Mary reaches its climax, everything Grace and Rocky have worked for comes to a head. The two worlds, their two suns, are dying, consumed by the mysterious astrophage that drains stars of their energy. If they fail, both planets face extinction. Grace realizes that the solution isn't just about Earth, it's about collaboration. He and Rocky must combine human ingenuity with alien biology. Using Rocky's homeworld's knowledge and Grace's scientific expertise, they discover that the astrophage can be neutralized under the right conditions. But executing the plan is no simple task. They must travel to the far reaches of the alien star system, collect the critical microbe, and use it to stop the spread of astrophage, an operation that is both scientifically complex and incredibly dangerous. At the same time, flashbacks show us Eva Strat and the Earth team, anxiously monitoring every calculation and transmission. The human element, the tension, the stakes, the countdown is omnipresent. We understand that Grace is literally carrying the hopes of billions. Then comes the emotional twist. Success comes at a personal cost. Grace discovers that returning home to Earth is impossible. His mission is designed as a one-way trip. The heroism he's displayed, the brilliance he's applied, saves humanity, but he cannot go back to his family, to his life as a teacher, or even to the familiar comfort of his own planet.
But hope shines through in the form of Rocky. Grace is not alone. Rocky becomes his companion, his friend, his family in the void of space. The bond they've formed is more than practical, it's deeply emotional. Together, they've saved two species, two worlds, and discovered the power of trust, collaboration, and interstellar friendship. The final sequences show Grace and Rocky observing the once dimming stars shining brightly again. The astrophage problem has been solved. Their worlds are saved. The cosmic stakes have been met, but the story leaves us with one lingering thought. The price of heroism is often personal sacrifice. Grace's journey mirrors the central theme of Project Hail Mary. Sometimes the bravest act isn't fighting alone, it's learning to trust, collaborate, and embrace the unknown. Rocky, who started as an alien puzzle, becomes a mirror to Grace's humanity. Through humor, ingenuity, and mutual respect, they achieve the impossible. And while Grace may never return to Earth, his story is far from lonely. The final scene leaves us with awe and hope, humanity's survival, alien friendship, and the triumph of science over catastrophe. It's an ending that is simultaneously heart-wrenching, triumphant, and inspiring. Project Hail Mary reminds us that intelligence, courage, and empathy aren't limited to one species, one planet, or one world. The universe may be vast and mysterious, but together, even across the stars, we can achieve the impossible. And that's the genius of this film. It's not just a story about saving the Earth, it's a story about saving ourselves. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Project Hail Mary, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with fellow space explorers, because some journeys are too epic to experience alone.
Imagine waking up alone on a spaceship, light years from Earth, with no memory of who you are, and discovering that the survival of your planet and an entire alien world depends on you. Project Hail Mary 2026 takes you on a thrilling, emotional, and hilarious journey through space, where Ryan Gosling teams up with an alien named Rocky to save the galaxy. Science, courage, and friendship collide in this unforgettable space adventure.